Online Teaching Survival Guide, presented by Group 1. Chapter 4, Phase 1, What's Happening, Themes, and Tools, starting off on the right foot in course beginnings. This chapter describes the types of interactions and experiences common in the first part of any course, including the faculty and learner behaviors common to Phase 1. We also summarize the themes underlying these initial experiences and describe the tasks essential for an effective online course launch and the beginnings of building a course community. This chapter provides an introduction to and description of the essential tools that are basic to teaching online. So what's happening in course beginnings? One of the best ways to start an online course on the right foot is to focus on social presence activities for both learners and faculty. Social presence, that is, getting to know each other as three-dimensional people, is the foundation of building trust and presence for the teaching and learning experiences. Getting acquainted at the social level creates a trusting and understanding environment for reaching out and risking beliefs in the content discussions. One of the most important social presence actions is in the getting acquainted postings by faculty and learners. A good second question shifts from the social presence interaction to thinking and discussing the course content and personal learning goals. After the getting acquainted posting in the first week of the course, ask the students to identify their learning goals for the course. This is the early launching of cognitive presence. This question about goals helps to provide insights as to the state of the learner's knowledge, confidence, and experience with the content. During the course beginnings, part of the instructor's responsibilities is to take action to ensure that all learners are engaged, present, and participating. The role of the faculty member is to act as the social and cognitive negotiator. The faculty member focuses on providing positive, supportive, and encouraging comments about the overall course process and clarifies course expectations and the types of learning experiences in the course requirements. In summary, in the first part of a course, this is what is happening. Learners are getting acquainted with each other, reviewing course requirements, getting an overview of the course content and resources, and setting personal and working learning goals. In the week or two prior to the course launch, the instructor is finalizing the course and ensuring that all is ready for the learners. The content resources are in place and students have acquired the required content resources, and the tools for the online environment are in place. Learners know how to use the applications and tools that are required or know how to access the help that they might need. So let's move on to course beginning themes. The themes for course beginnings are presence, community, patience, and clear expectations. These themes capture the basics of the teaching and learning dialogue, goals, and relationships that are essential features of any online course. Let's start with presence. Social presence, cognitive presence, and teaching presence. Presence is the most important best practice for an online course. The simplest description of presence is being there. Research links presence most closely to student satisfaction and a related belief that a course is effective. Here are descriptions of the three presences and how they interact and work within the teaching and learning experiences of a course. Social presence. One of the best ways to get an online course off on the right foot is to ensure the social presence of the instructor and all the learners. Social presence is achieved in the community of inquiry modeled by faculty and students, projecting their personal characteristics into the discussion so they become real people. It is imperative that the trust-building process is established at the social level so that content discussions can be open and substantive. One of the first trips focuses on strategies for getting acquainted at the social level, sharing personal favorites such as drinks, foods, ideas, and books or movies in the first week. This encourages expression of feelings, perspectives, and openness. Cognitive presence. A good follow-up question in the first week of the course is to ask the student to identify their learning goals for the course, shifting from the social presence interactions to thinking and discussing the course content for personal learning goals. This question about goals helps an instructor gain insights into the state of the learner's knowledge, confidence, and experience with the content. It is a way of gaining insight into the learner's individual zones of proximal development. This question also encourages relatedness and connections as learners discover shared and complementary experiences and goals. Cognitive presence is defined as the extent to which the professor and the students are able to construct and confirm meaning through sustained discourse in a community of inquiry. Teaching presence. Teaching presence is an online course consists of at least two major categories of teaching direction. The first category consists of all the course materials that are prepared before the course begins, and the second category consists of all the monitoring, mentoring, questioning, and shaping of the growing knowledge of particular learners in a course. The first category of teaching presence is developed on the assumptions of what students probably know and understand, the mythical student for design purposes. The second category of teaching direction is customized to the particular set of students. Moving on to community. Building a sense of shared understanding, knowledge of one another, and mutual support, even if values are not shared, are elements of community. The goal of community in an online course is twofold: building knowledge and competencies within learners and building a network of mutual respect and sharing of ideas and perspectives. Patience. Be patient with yourself as you develop an online teaching skills. Also be patient with your students as they develop online learning skills that often mean that they must become more active learners and take more responsibility for what they know and the skills and values they want to develop. Clarity of expectations. Clear and unambiguous guidelines about what is expected of learners and what they should expect from an instructor make a significant contribution to ensuring understanding and satisfaction in an online course. Clarifying how all this will work and sometimes might not work can help create a smooth and trusting learning environment. Course beginning tips. The basic tasks generally require a minimum of 20 to 30 hours if you are familiar with the tools and if you have taught the course before in a face-to-face mode. If the tools are new to you, this preparation time is usually a little longer because you will be learning new habits and processes. During the first cycle of an online course, the time in preparation and delivery is similar to the first time teaching any course in the face-to-face environment. The primary difference is that more planning must be done before the students arrive at your course site. The tips for phase 1 of your course summarize what you must do to get ready for the course launch, including the week or two prior to the official launch of the course. The most important initial goals to achieve in the first weeks are getting acquainted with learners, establishing trust, and launching the learning community. A second set of tips for the online beginnings, creating and designing of discussions, focuses on designing and organizing the essential content and knowledge pieces of an online course. If you have been an effective instructor in the face-to-face environment, you will soon adapt to the new environment with little time and practice. Your first step is to work on the preparations and establish a goal of creating a set of learning experiences that engages and challenges your students. Let's talk about technology tools. The best approach for teaching a first online course is to keep it simple. Focus on the essential tools and build your first course around those tools. You will want to focus on the essential tools and features of a course management system and tools and applications for teaching and learning online. The essential tools and features of course management systems, CMS. Some of the basics that you will need to know are uploading text documents, setting up and creating discussion forums, and setting up and using the gradebook. The primary tool that you will need to become familiar with is the course management system of your institution. Some of the most used systems in higher education are Blackboard, Desire to Learn, Moodle, WebStudy, and Sakai. Here are some of the basic skills and tools for course management system listed: requesting or arranging for a course template, uploading documents and pictures, updating and revising documents, setting up and creating discussion forums, setting up and using the gradebook, and setting up teams and groups. Some of the tools and applications for teaching and learning online. These tools make it possible to design almost any learning experience that you have designed for your face-to-face environment. Learning how to use them will keep you busy for some time to come. However, it's important not to get overwhelmed. Just pick 1 to 3 that are best suited for your learning goals and discipline and learn those. Remember too that tools are constantly changing, but usually they are also getting much easier and many of them are free. Some of the tools and course beginning tips. Here's a list provided for you. We have email, announcements and discussion forums, audio and video lectures and resources, Audacity, which is an audio software, blogs and online journals, wikis, YouTube, course management systems, text messaging, instant messaging and Twitter, Turnitin software, social networking sites, synchronous collaboration tools in online classrooms, quizzes, and a discussion board for learners. A little more background on the tools. Audio and video lectures can be accomplished with many different tools. The audio tools that are generally available include the latest version of PowerPoint, online classroom or other collaborative meeting tools, many of the current generation of audio players such as the iPod, iPod Touch, and iPhone series, and free software such as Audacity. All that is needed is a microphone, and in the case of video lectures, a webcam. Many computers now have those media and camera elements built in, making audio and video lectures even easier to create. All you need to do is find a relatively quiet office space. Do this when you're ready and feeling adventuresome, and take a little time with it. You might even encourage your students to try it first and then learn from them. YouTube is a social networking site that makes it easy to upload and share videos. Blogs and wikis, media-rich web applications are also online tools you can use. Instant messaging is a text-based communications method that enables real-time conversation by pop-up windows on mobile devices such as cell phones and Blackberries. Second Life is a free three-dimensional virtual reality world that is imagined and created by the residents of Second Life. Facebook, MySpace, Ning, and LinkedIn are social networking sites where users find and communicate with friends using pictures, blogs, videos, profiles, and what am I doing now messages. Illuminate, Wimba, and Adobe Connect are a few of the real-time synchronous web conferencing tools that are being used for a wide range of teaching and learning interactions. Okay, the main point to remember here is be sure to relax and just focus on the tools that you need to teach the course for the first cycle. There are so many tools available for you to use for your online course. I hope this PowerPoint presentation was helpful.